Now it's time for America's Talking with stories from across the country. And in Washington state, the Center Square's Carlene Johnson reports that Governor Bob Ferguson signaling a measure to change the state's income tax bill may be dead before the legislative session is over. There's just 9 days remaining, and the proposed measure has yet to reach the House floor. That measure, Senate Bill 6346, would impose a 9.9% income tax on anybody making more than $1 million. It's already cleared the Senate, but when it got to the House, amendments were filed, and that could slow things down. Media reports are that Ferguson has told supporters and donors that getting it just right could mean coming back next year to finish the bill in a longer session. In Pennsylvania, the Center Square's Kristen Smith reports drivers there pay the most tolls. Using federal data, Smith reports law firm Beck & Beck calculated the amount of tolls paid per 1,000 miles traveled and found that Delaware was highest at $41, New Jersey $26, New York $22, Pennsylvania at $18. So obviously Pennsylvania much higher than its neighboring states. 5 highest out of 27 with all of those paid public roads. Pennsylvania's toll revenues reached $1.8 billion that year, the 4th highest in the nation, with more than 100 million miles driven. And that data is not surprising to taxpayers in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's Turnpike is consistently ranked as the most expensive toll road in the United States, costing drivers $113 just across the state. In Tennessee, the Center Square's Kim Jarrett reports state and local officials could face Class E felonies if they disclose the location and other information about U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents. Senate Bill 1464 passed 6-2 in the Senate State and Local Government Committee on Tuesday. That bill creates that felony charge that carries a sentence of 1 to 6 years in prison and a fine of up to $3,000 if a person is convicted. Jarrett also reporting in Georgia for the Center Square that taxpayers there, they're going to see another one-time refund this year through an amended fiscal year 2026 budget approved by the General Assembly and signed by Governor Brian Kemp. Married taxpayers will receive up to $500. Single filers will get $250. And this is the 4th year that taxpayers in Georgia have received refunds, which are funded by $1.17 billion state surplus. Homeowners also looking to get a property tax break of up to $500 each through an $850 million homeowner tax relief grant program. In Illinois, Governor J.B. Pritzker had to respond to questions about former President Bill Clinton's testimony during a U.S. House oversight deposition about Clinton's relationship with Epstein. Here is President Bill Clinton, followed by Governor J.B. Pritzker just over the past week.
I think it was on one of these trips, I think, that I had my first trip for the man who's now the governor of Illinois, J.B. Pritzker, and his wife. They helped me get started. It's all a matter of public record.
See, no. Let me be clear. First of all, President Clinton clearly was mistaken, and he corrected the mistake. I had never met Jeffrey Epstein. I was never on Jeffrey Epstein's plane. I was never on any plane with Jeffrey Epstein or with Ghislaine Maxwell, never met her.
While Clinton himself hasn't clarified or corrected that statement, a spokesperson for Clinton on X said, quote, Clinton was simply giving an example of the many people he traveled with to see the Clinton Foundation's work. Governor Pritzker joined a Clinton Foundation trip in 2008, not on Epstein's plane, not with Epstein, not with Maxwell. We'll see just how that story impacts the governor's bid for a 3rd term to lead the land of Lincoln. And that's America's Talking, with headlines from across the country.